Welcome back. This video pertains to one important question which we said earlier as a basic question. What are your strengths? When you go inside the interview room, if at all you're asked this question, what are your strengths, then you need to congratulate yourself. You need to congratulate yourself because it's the best question that any company could have possibly asked you. Why so? Because it's an opportunity for you to give all the strengths that you have, understanding exactly what the company wants. What we are going to do is I'm going to explain to you the type of answers that other students have given and then probably analyze to see whether that answer is a good answer or a bad answer. Ladies and gentlemen, imagine the fact that a company like TCS interviews me and asks me a question, Abdullah, what are your strengths? And I look at the company and say, sir, I'm a very handsome person. Is that a good answer or a bad answer? Now, we're not going to look at the truth of whether I'm handsome or not here, but is that a good answer or a bad answer? Surely from a technical company's perspective, me being handsome or not does not matter. So for me to tell the company that I'm handsome or talk about any other strength which is not a strength from the company's perspective is surely not a good idea. So the first rule of strength which I introduce you, never talk from your perspective, speak from the company's perspective. Once you understand what a company wants, once you understand what the traits the company wants, look into yourself, do you happen to have those traits? And if you do, tell the company that. Ladies and gentlemen, I link this up with what I said, selling. Whenever we talk about selling, whenever we talk about advertisement, who is the god, who is the boss? It's the buyer. In this case, the buyer is the company. So always speak from the company's perspective. So I reiterate the first rule, speak from the company's perspective. Talk about that strength which will interest the company. Rule number 2. The whole idea of interview is to project all the amazing things that you have. The whole idea is for you to get an opportunity to talk about the amazing positives you have to the company. So you need to project more of the positives. So please do not talk about obvious strengths. Give something the company is not aware of. Quite a number of times in the interviews, I have heard students talk about certain strengths of theirs. Certain strengths which I call as obvious strengths. Let me give an example before I talk about this rule. Ladies and gentlemen, I go into the interview room and the company asks me, Abdullah, what's your greatest strength? I look into the company's eyes and I say, sir, my greatest strength is the fact that I'm fluent in English. I'm a good public speaker. Is that a great strength? To answer this, let's look at the first thing. Does the company need someone who is good at communication? Answer is yes. Communication is a big strength. But ladies and gentlemen, in this question, this is a bad answer. Why am I saying it's a bad answer? The moment I go inside the interview room, within 2 minutes, on account of my ability to communicate, the company would have already known the fact that I'm a good communicator. So after that, if the company asks me, Abdullah, what are your strengths? And I continue to talk about something which the company is already aware of, I just wasted that question. We should not talk about obvious strengths. Had I given him some other strength, now company would have known 2 strengths. One, which is as observed, that is to do with my communication ability. Second, which I would have told him. So the second rule, which we talk about in strength is, do not talk about obvious strength. Talk about something the company is not aware of. Let me give you one more example. Maybe I'm a topper. Maybe I'm a university gold medalist. And ladies and gentlemen, when company asks me, Abdullah, what are your strengths? And I say, my hard work is my greatest strength. I'm again spoiling the case. Because the company obviously knows I'm a hard worker. But for that, I would not probably have been a topper. So talk about some strength which is not obvious. The next mistake many people do in the interview is they talk about multiple strengths. So someone asks me, Abdullah, what are your strengths? And I say, I'm friendly, I'm smart, I'm hardworking, I'm a great team player, I'm also a great leader. Shit, what am I then? You cannot confuse the people. Ladies and gentlemen, when you go inside the interview room, you need to understand you have many amazing things, yes. But understand among the amazing things, select those which you know company will be interested in. If you go on rattling so many of your strengths, in a way company would have a doubt, is he really what he is? Ladies and gentlemen, let's not project ourselves as a James Bond. Yes, we need to talk about the fact that we are a James Bond, but not directly. By talking about all the strengths, probably you are putting a doubt in one's mind that maybe he's overselling himself. So what should one do? You should limit the strengths. Bringing all these rules together, let's now talk about how you should answer it. What is our recommendation? My first recommendation, recommendation A, is the fact that talk about 2 strengths, not more, but talk about 2 strengths of which both these strengths are not obvious strengths. Recommendation B, do not elaborate both, but make it a point to elaborate one. Ladies and gentlemen, it's very easy to talk about strength, very tough to give example. But the moment you give example, what are you saying? You're telling the company, believe me, You are trying to create the trust factor with the company that is required in the interview. The example you give has to come from the past. The moment you do so, ladies and gentlemen, you are making your answer a credible answer. Let me give an example now. Someone asked me, Abdullah, what are your strengths? I believe the friendly nature is my greatest strength. Apart from that, I am also a very good learner. I come from a background which is a Telugu medium background. Till my 12th class, I did my schooling in Telugu medium school. It's only after that I came to engineering, which is an English medium. Initially, yes, I did struggle, but fact of the matter is that I was able to learn English very fast. I could do that basically by speaking to my friends in English, and today I am fluent in English, and in fact I have also been able to get good marks. The moment you do so, the reliability factor kicks in. Any example you gave is going to make the answer credible, so do so. Ladies and gentlemen, think on this answer. Why am I asking you to think? The reason is very simple. This is one question that many companies tend to ask you. More importantly, few of the companies in the application form ask you to write a short passage on your strengths. Quickly reiterating, do's and don'ts. Let's talk about the don'ts first. First don't. Please talk from the company's perspective. Do not talk from your perspective alone. If the strength is yours but not required for the company, it's not your strength. Don't. Number 2. Do not talk about your obvious strengths. Try to talk about something which company does not know. By doing so, you're allowing the company to discover you much better. Don't. Number 3, do not list too many strengths. Ladies and gentlemen, don't oversell yourself. What are the do's here? Point number 1, please make it a point to talk about at least 2 strengths. Point number 2, elaborate at least 1. Point number 3, I'm building on that, don't elaborate both. It will kill you, it will bore the company, and more importantly, it will not help you sell. Ladies and gentlemen, I really hope you will take some time to discover the strengths you have and then practice, because remember what I said, this is a basic question. And when this is asked, you better be more fluent, and more importantly, you better be very credible. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much.